Well, hello there. I am Jacob. My screen name is Jacob Ryan Burns, although that is no longer my name. I am trying to find your questions now, which I suppose I should have had prepared and did not. So bear with me for just a moment. Let's mature. Sorry. And sorry for the video quality. I'm using the camera attached to my MacBook Air, and it kind of sucks, it looks like. Sorry. Okay, unless says otherwise, Jacob Ryan Burns is up next. Be sure to ask me about my buttocks, recent wedding, and thoughts on toe rings. Don't forget to listen to Ray's interview and any previous ones you might have missed. I have not missed any, I don't think. Ray, I must say your accent is positively too daft for. I could listen to you read a phone book, darling. Okay, so I have never read the questions before either, and this is very distracting, trying not to look at myself when there's a camera and a green dot right there. So I will try my best to talk to you and not to myself, but no guarantees. I'm happiest when I am, Patriots 88888 writes. Also, forgive me, I was actually going to try and look nice for this, and I took a shower earlier, and in the process I started procrastinating. I fell asleep, and so my hair is, I look like a small dog. I have this one, I have the headband, and I've got all sorts of fun stuff, this side fun going on, so my shirt best describes it. The struggle is real. To stay awake. I'm happiest when I am asleep. My idea of a good time is sleeping. Although, am I only supposed to answer one? I mean, my idea of a good time varies greatly depending on what it is what I'm looking for. I can never seem to find the time to, oh geez, I like to use that a lot, but really I think I have the time. I think I'm a horrendous procrastinator, and I don't like the word lazy. I hate it when, just everything. I just hate it when, just the worst. Ugh. I'm at my worst when, wow, this is harder than I thought. Now I wish I had read the questions before. I am at my worst when, I would say probably when I think I'm right, when somebody is trying to, like, tell me, so to speak, like, challenge my opinion. I tend to be very indignant. My husband will tell you, like, I cannot be told. I am told nothing by nobody. Nothing by anyone, rather. Jesus. One thing that not many know about me is I don't really actually have a lot of friends, I would say. People tend to assume, like my online friends tend to assume that I am very effervescent and social and all that stuff, but actually I do not have a single friend here in Chicago that I go to hang out with. Anybody that we have as friends or whatever are usually Matt's friends, and it's not for any other reason that I am just not an incredibly social person. As I've gotten older, I tend to be a very selective person about who it is I associate with, and as such, I just have been so selective as to not choose anybody at all, really. That is not to say I'm mean or not social at all. I mean, I do enjoy, you know, meeting other people. I enjoy Matt's friends a lot, but I don't know. As a person, I tend to just kind of stick to myself. Oh no, don't fall asleep. My phone. Sorry. The world would be better served if there was less religion. Especially, like, I grew up Catholic. I went to Catholic school up until I was in high school. I know it all too well, and I know exactly what just absolute horseshit it is, if you don't mind my saying so. And I'm sorry. Like, I just think that we're all so, like, right about it. But, like, it's the people who just don't give a shit that tend to not, I don't know, tend not to fight, I notice. There's a lot less, because religion is used to justify pretty much everybody's actions, just everything that everybody does, and I think it is just the worst. Ugh. If I had the power to change one thing, and one thing only about this forum, it would be the amount of kids. As somebody who joined the forum very early on, I can say that, like, the median age range of popular forumers has gotten younger and younger, and as such, we've gotten the, like, crazed, can't say one thing without mentioning Lady Gaga, or, something that just does not apply, and I think it is just the most single annoying fucking thing I've ever read in my life. Trying to find an opinion that is not a meme, or some yes type bullshit. I mean, I think it's, sorry, that's my phone. I suppose I could turn that on quiet, but name the ringtone though. It's fucking annoying, and, like, drives me crazy. It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack, if you will, of, like, one single important point of view or worthwhile read, and it just, like, so, I heard your hair is insured for, I'm sorry, Sir Croft. I heard your hair is insured for $10,000. Is that correct? Well, I surely hope not, because it is in a pretty piss poor condition for any potential insurance company to get a hold of at this moment. But yes, it's true. Everything. I also do car commercials in Japan. How deep have you ever gone, and for how long? Did you gag? Being underwater is tough. Gee. How deep have I ever gone? I would say probably 30. Oh, no, well, I mean, I've been scuba diving, so I've been probably about 100 feet before. I did not gag, although I did have a very tough time breathing once I returned to the surface. Being underwater is tough. If you could choose someone to sit down, have dinner, and talk for 2 hours, who would it be? And what would you talk about? I don't know. I might choose any number of people. Right here at the forum, I've had great success in having forum member friends. Um, uh, uh, so I would say you, Sir Croft. You're the one. These are great questions. You seem like you might be somebody who would have uh, good answer. What would we talk about? I don't know. I might turn around and just turn the questionnaire around on you, although I'm hoping this does not turn into you guys having to listen to me for the next 2 hours, especially since this video is huge already. What was my first kiss like? I don't know. I don't remember it. I don't remember who it was. Um, my romantic slash sexual adventures came to pass rather early. I was probably about 14, which is the most disgusting thing in the entire world. As I look back on that and think like, oh my god, I was such an ugly little troll back then. So, sorry whoever that was, unless you were awful, in which case, although I think the guy that it would have been actually ended up killing himself because, I mean, he was a terrible person. He like went to prison, but like a story for another time. But if that's right, and it was him, and boy, I know how to pick him, then yeah, I wouldn't say I would remember what it was like because that was like 12 years ago. Name 7 things you have strong feelings about. My hair. Uh, 7. My cats. Somewhere around here. Although, probably still in the same bed that I slept so wonderfully in just earlier. My husband. I'm really hoping you don't judge me all for the things or the way I'm listing these. In no particular order, right? A clean house. I'm so particular about that, and you wouldn't know it from the state of this place, but I've got all day. I'm very particular about the way that like things are like handled. Like, and we could be talking about anything in the entire world, but it's the way that you present something to me. And if you are like, it's not what you say, it's how you say it, which drives my husband insane because he's very logical, whereas I'm a very emotional person. So it's always like, but like I'm very particular about that, and I think a lot of that is being Southern. Like we have such a presentation and such a meaning behind every little every little dalliance and like just everything. So if somebody does not present something to me, even if it is well within their rights to do so, and if it's like sitting on my shirt, I'm just gonna flash you all for a little while. It's exactly how you show it, right? I'm very particular about that, and it drives people crazy because like I am willing to like just crucify people, and people have like called me petty about it, but like I was brought up that if you have something to say to somebody, and the way you say it is often exactly how it is going to be perceived as what you really mean. And maybe I was just brought up by horrible people, which is possible, but I don't know, things like that. So let's see here. Something else. I would say my just overall appearance. I mean, I'm rather meticulous about that sort of thing. I don't like to be viewed in, just a haphazard manner. And if I am being seen in a haphazard manner, it is because I am specific, it's very meticulated. I think that's 5. Strong feelings about politics, I would say. I grew up working in network news television, so of course that's all cable news, and in such I got just and I was working in Texas too, so granted I was on the very right-wing side of things, which as a gay person and as a half intelligent person and somebody who has any shred of self-respect, I got to see firsthand just how awful and terrible all these people really are, and just how oppressive all of their views are and how self-interested they are. And so from there, I got to, I got to really form what I thought was, what I think is a pretty intelligent opinion about all of that. Um, and then, of course, as the country has become more polarized on certain things, and for instance, like, up until recently, we could not all, as a nation of gay or straight or whatever people, get married. And I was engaged up until, July when we got married. It was a very interesting thing because when we got engaged, we were in Texas, and there were lots of people who were like, "Oh, you're engaged. That doesn't mean anything." Like, and I was just like, "I'm sorry, but that does. Like, I will travel to another state if I have to, and live there if I have to," which is what we did. We now live in Chicago, and so I don't know. Just I'm a very political person, though I do not like to jump into political debates in person with people. I typically fall on, if I'm in person and I'm being social, I typically would rather opt for entertaining. So I typically take the entertaining route, and I will just insult the shit out of you, and in hopes that, at least a few people in the room will laugh and tell you what a fucking moron you are, because those political views are, Victorian and or stupid and or hillbilly and or you're just an asshole and I'm sorry, but that doesn't make any sense, blah, 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 blah. I tend to favor that method of politicizing myself, and but I do feel very strongly for that. I'm very, 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 very strong feeling about like minorities and stuff and people who don't have a voice. Like when the Caitlyn Jenner thing happened and everybody was like, "Oh, well, all up in arms," like, there's so many more important things that the country could be focusing on than this. And I was just like very upset that people would take that route because it's I hate this word, but it's transphobic, and like it's people not wanting to deal with that. I was like, I'm sorry, but never before have like trans people had like anybody speak for them, and now there's this like beautiful, strong, granted, like formerly rich white guy, but like who better to speak for the community as somebody who has had that much clout, and now all of a sudden is facing such like a ripping back of that privilege just because he's this person's a woman now. Like I'm like it enraged me. So I think, what is it, like 6 or 7? I don't know. I've named some stuff now, and this is going to go on forever if I continue. But like I feel very strongly about that, about groups of people who don't have a voice or a strong voice or somebody who can speak for them. Especially because and I don't really care who it is. It could be gay, straight, trans. Like I get kind of weirded out that those things get all conflated because being trans and being gay is like not the same thing, but like if we're the ones that have to like take these issues on and like help these people, like so be it. These people, but I sound terrible now. Ugh. So, show us your handwriting with a message to any member of your choice. Sure, let me grab one. Okay. And lastly, you write, why are you so flawless? Well, so my secret is actually that underneath it all, I am Jennifer Aniston. And I don't really have to explain that. I just am flawless. Again, car commercials in Japan. Okay, and yes, these are really silly. I got these. They're stupid, right? Completely useless. Well, so the day before my wedding, we were having this big party and on this rooftop thing, and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna need some sunglasses, but I'm gonna need something that is like fun, and so these were brought to my attention, and I wore them all day long, and everyone was like, what in the fuck is on your face? Why do you have like fungus orange Ray-Ban aviators that are a third the size of your face? And of course I was just like, this is my party. Don't have to answer. I really don't. So, Flip, my friend, what would you do if a toilet stood up and started singing to you? I would rest assured that the money I spent on drugs was money well spent. What would you do if you woke up one day without a face, just 2 holes for eyes? Oh, that would be... So I've actually had a little time to tell you about the way I look. I would probably stay in bed, hoping that, I mean, I don't know. Are we talking about like my face is just missing? Like there's just like, it's like a, just like a, I don't know. Like, it would be a very sad day for me. 2 holes for eyes. Well, I don't suppose I would do much if I could not actually see. I would assume I was blind. Maybe I wouldn't know at all, and I would wake up the next day with my whole face returned. What is your opinion on lesbian sex? So the great mystery of lesbian sex. I don't actually really know what they do. I have an aunt who is a lesbian, and I have never actually dared. I've always wanted to, but I know that they tend to be very, like, offended by the question. So, as it does not pertain to me, I do not feel the need to feel one way or another about it, except that I feel that if it makes them happy, it makes me happy, and as long as I am not asked or forced to participate, I can live out my life without all of that. Without looking at the smiley list, which one is your favorite one and why? My favorite one is the laughing one, where he just, the VLOL one, and it is my favorite because I have memorized that one, and it is the only one I think, with the exception of like, you know, just the regular smiley or like tongue face, that like I can type without having to like look at the thing. It's not a great reason. There's 2 things that you would change about me, you, and why. Oh, Flip, you're so wonderful. I don't know why I would change anything about you. If anything, I wish I could change other people's perception of your often frostily perceived. I understand this because I do this all the time as well. People tend to assume that your shortness is an attack. I don't know that I would change that though. I mean, that's just like, because, I mean, when it happens to me, I'm just like, well, if that's the way you perceived it. Like, I don't know. I don't know that I would change anything about you. You're incredibly good looking. You're very nice to me. I mean, I don't know. Maybe if you weren't a total fucking cunt, but you know, that's just you, and I wouldn't change that about you. No, yeah, I mean, you can be cunty, but maybe that's what I like about you. Which is the best looking Laura? You know, I honestly thought that like they nailed it with Tomb Raider Legend. I could not like, I was fucking fangirling out of my mind when Tomb Raider Legend was like announced and all that stuff. Like, it was the perfect, like, the perfect, like, next step for the series. It was, if we were not going to go the Angel of Darkness route, like, I thought she was great. She had way too much makeup, I thought, but otherwise she was, you know, I thought she was exceptional. Bun, braid, or ponytail? Oh, I hate that any of them, like, why couldn't we have all of them? I wish that, you know, she had thrown it up and down. Oh my god, I just woke up. I'm so sorry. What changes would you make to this forum if you were given adminship for a day? Oh, I would hands down come after this, like, yeah, first of all, the memes. Ugh. All of, and this is, I hate to say this, but like a lot of the gay guys have, the younger gays, the girl, you can say it with words, sit down. Like, all of the memes that like assault you as you're scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. Like, my evens cannot with this. My evens cannot. Like, if you cannot say it with words, you just don't say it. That means you have nothing to say. Like, very seldom, and does like a GIF or a meme accurately like say what you need to say as good or better than you could say it. The only one I will say that really hits home for me is the one of Laura saying no. That one I would find acceptable. And anytime I saw that, you would get banned for a day. Like, it's not really as bad anymore, but like the Lady Gaga fandom that like took over everything, where you couldn't go anywhere without seeing the Lady Gaga references, comparisons, like interjections. Like, there got to be a point where I was like, there's nothing on this forum about Lady Gaga. And yet everything on this forum is about Lady Gaga. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. It drives me crazy. She's a wonderful artist, but Jesus Christ, like, the world does not revolve around Lady Gaga. I know she may not know that, and I know these people definitely don't know that, but shut the fuck up. What would you do if someone pelted you in the eye with a scrunched up chocolate bar wrapper? That would, just the wrapper. So someone threw a piece of trash at me? Girl, you better run. I'm gonna have that ass. I mean, no, I would probably just be very confused if my eye was, in fact, okay from the injury. But you better run. Are you near reaching whatever personal goals you have set for yourself? No. I am, in fact, in sort of a career limbo where I don't really know what I want to do with my life. I have, and I'm not going to go into the specifics of it because it's actually sadder with the details. Yeah, when we moved to Chicago, it was because we were finally able to get out of Houston, because my career there was sort of in television was done. I was done with it. And I am well qualified in another field. And as it turns out, I hate it. Everything about it. I hate the people that are also in my field. I hate the things that I do. And so I'm currently, like, very distracted by this piece of hair that I have tied back, and every time I see it behind me, I'm like, ooh, what is that? No, I'm definitely like 26 and having some very big, like, oh my god, what am I going to do with my life type things. Fortunately, I have a wonderful husband who does not ask himself these questions and is able to support me while I am trying to figure it out. That's what I feel like a lot of the times. But it does afford me the luxury of being able to sit at home and look like this and talk to all of you in these videos. So anyway, yeah, no, not even close. I will say this video that I'm making is bordering on 12.5 gigabytes, so I'm going to close this one and I'm going to start a part 2 in just a moment.